Welcome. So this is not a video that I thought that I would be making, but for educational purposes, I guess it should be said, since it happened last night at 10:30, just south of Oaxaca. I will add a little Google Maps thingy right now. And while it's still fresh in my mind, I'll tell you what happened. So basically, little background context, doing a little road trip from California down to South America in this Ford Escape. Last night, this back thingy was closed. Everything was closed and locked up, except for this window. I had my little bug screen cover so the mosquitoes and whatnot would not come in. But everything else was closed. And so, right over there, there is a motorcycle and whatnot, like doing a little U-turn at that area right over there. And then as he's turning, his headlight flashes directly on my car. And then there's two trucks right behind him, and they're like kind of moving around, and then they move those little cop or police little headlamps thingy that are right next to their windows, and they shine it right on my car. So I pretty much knew that these people were going to come over to me. But then they put on these red and blue flashing lights. I'm like, oh, it's the cops, whatever. I'm just going to say, yeah, I'm here trying to get some sleep, blah, blah, blah. All is good. And so last night, my head was back here. My legs were all the way up there. And one of the trucks stops basically right here. And as you can see, his light would not really show. All kinds of stuff. His light would not really shine past that area. And then the other truck was pulled up basically right here, shining his super bright light right through there, while I kind of sit up and am looking at the people. And they're yelling all this stuff in Spanish, and I don't know exactly what they're saying, but then they say manos, hands. And so I'm like, okay, put both hands up, blah, blah, blah. And keep in mind, the lights are super bright, shining basically right at me. So I can't see these vehicles really well. And so then they're yelling blah, 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 all this stuff. And then I'm trying to tell them I'm pointing to that open part of the window right there, saying, come over here. No entiendo. Ven aquí. Es abierto aquí. I don't understand. Come over here. It's open over here. No puedo oír. I can't hear you. And so, then I basically decided to slide my naked butt into the front seat of the car while dragging this weighted blanket, trying to cover my balls. Big balls, by the way, to not fully expose myself. And then I see this guy in front of these vehicles with this shotgun, walking really fast, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, geez, this guy's pissed off. So first I'm thinking, and he's got this cowboy hat on. So first thing that I'm thinking is, oh, geez, I'm like on some rancher's land, unfortunately. On Google Maps, I saw that this just looked like a empty dirt lot. Right next to there is some hiking area right over there. That's kind of why I chose it. Nature spot, whatever. And then, so basically I'm like, oh, this rancher guy's all pissed off. And second thing I'm thinking is, why are these cops allowing this guy with a shotgun to be like walking around all crazy right next to my car? And then taps on the window, open the window, not all the way, probably like halfway though. And he says in English either two things. He said, "We're your friend," or "Who your friend?" I don't remember exactly. And I'm thinking, okay, well, neither of those really make sense to me. And then then all the rest of the stuff that he says is in Spanish. And give me a second to gather my thoughts. And so he's basically saying, "¿Qué estás haciendo aquí? What are you doing here?" And at this moment, I'm realizing that this is not the cops, because there's like 10 dudes, and I can see that the paint on the trucks is white. Most of the police vehicles here, I think, are blue. But there's pretty much 10 dudes right there, but this one guy right in front, and this one guy that's a little in front of him, who has an AK-74U, I believe it's called. It looks like an AK-47, but a submachine gun style. And, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "Solo quiero un lugar to dormir. And I just want a place to sleep." "No puedes estar aquí, es peligroso. You can't be here, it's dangerous." And I say, "Lógico," pointing to the dude with the AK-74 thingy. And then he asks again, what are you doing here?" In Spanish. And I said, "Well, solo comí tacos y estoy haciendo un viaje en mi carro y quiero un lugar para dormir. Y mañana, en la mañana, voy a estirar, tal vez yoga y salir para Puerto Escondido." So, I just ate tacos, and I just want a place to sleep, and tomorrow in the morning I'm just going to stretch, do some yoga, and then I'm on my way to Puerto Escondido, this place right by the beach. And then you could tell that the mood changed quite a bit to a lighter theme, and his friends were like, blah, 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 just sleeping here in Spanish. And then the guy was kind of smiling, the pissed off rancher looking guy. It's like, okay, I'm good. I wasn't really nervous. Well, I mean, a little bit nervous, but not like scared for my life or anything like that. Except for right at the beginning, I'm like, man, is this guy just gonna like blast me right through this glass window? But yeah, so just be a little situationally aware, I guess you could say. Don't try to piss them off in some sort of way. If you're in Latin America, you should speak a little bit of Spanish, just like if you're in the United States, you should speak a little bit of English, because it goes a long way. And yeah, so then basically as it was wrapping up, one of his friends was like, blah, 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 chaka, chaka, which is sex. And I was like, no chaka, chaka, thinking that I'm banging someone in the back of this car here. But it was all good. So then they were friendly after that, and then they were like, "Oh, you puedes dormir aquí, you can sleep here, blah, blah, blah." So yeah, let me off to the hook. And it was basically a 3-minute ordeal, and now we're at 8 minutes, 9 minutes basically. But I wanted to give it all in the most detail that I possibly could. So I guess that's pretty much it. Ciao, ciao.